drum was given to us a long time ago. We did not have a big drum. The story goes is that there was two indigenous groups warring with each other. And one of the grandmothers of one of the tribes wanted it to stop. And she didn't know how to make it stop. And in our way, in our belief, we believe in vision. And we believe in fasting. So she took it upon herself to go on a fast. And in the fast, she prayed for her people. She prayed for the other warring people that they were warring against. And in that dream, it was told to her how to make this vise. She was told that to use the hardwoods from around their area to make that cylinder. Use the animals from around that area to make those heads, and for those things to be put together by a man. And then 4 men would come together and they would sing songs, and then those songs that would bring peace. Two of their men from their tribe went to the middle of the field, placed that drum down. Two other men from the other side walked out. And those 4 men, to represent all those 4 directions, the 4 directions of our life and the 4 directions of man, came to that center of that, and they began to drum. And this is a symbol of peace, and this is our symbol of our understanding and the way that men pray to Mother Earth. And women have their connection with Mother Earth as a giver. That was for Anishinaabe. Anishinaabe, in my eyes, is people of Mother Earth. People of Mother Earth have 4 different colors. And those 4 different colors are represented here. And if you look at the other dances, you'll see these colors displayed as well. The red, the white, the black, and the yellow.
Simon would like to do a blessing before the elders. We invite the elders to eat the food first, and then everyone else.
O Great Spirit, bless these people. Bless the food which we are about to partake of. Furnish our strength, our food, and everything else.
Yvonne is our juror. The jury of the living contemporary artists are pretty much on that side wall and that side wall.
When she called me up and asked me if I were to be the juror, I had other names that I gave her, hoping that she would want to choose one of them, because it was the first time for me and the first time for her, in doing this art thing. So I figured, well, might as well jump in and give it a try. All I could do was make my decisions based on a lot of thought, a lot of caring. And I prayed a lot. When I was working here on a Saturday, and people were coming and going, I was sitting over there on the bench working, but I was thinking about the exhibits and everything coming in. So it was a real nice experience to be able to see and meet a lot of the people and the artists that were coming in. Since I had not been a juror before, I did pick one we call Best of Show. and then two honorable mentions. The honorable mention is Carrie Bowles.
Her work is,
The needlepoint is fantastic. And her thought process was pretty much where I come from. The second honorable mention is Danny Ramirez. This is the painting called the Upcoming Chiefs, or Three New Chiefs, something like that. The best of show was for Virginia Chancellor.
thank you so much.
Which one is it?
It was the jewelry in a display case, directly under the guy with the attitude look. But I want to thank everybody who came and participated.
And what we tried to do with our dance presentations is we tried to display and demonstrate contemporary Native American dance in Odawa Pacific. And we make all our own outfits, as Joe was saying. We put the time and the effort into what we do. All of our songs, except for maybe two of those songs that we sang this evening, are ours. The songs that are on the CD, those are Odawa songs. Those come from my cousin that's passed down. They come from me. They come from Joe. They come from Dwayne.
Early in the 1970s, we learned that the LaCroix condominium was going to be built on a beautiful grassy lot that was up there on the top of the hill. And we knew from walking over the site that there were bits of pottery and flint tools that came from that area. We came to the citizens of Charlevoix, and many people contributed money so that we could hire a crew of students and visit the site to try to explore it, to find out what we could about the people that lived there hundreds and thousands of years ago. This display shows stone tools, chip tools, groundstone tools, and it shows some very elaborate pottery that the people that lived at that site 1,000 years ago made. This is an art display, of course, and this is art. It's fossil art in a way. The earliest pottery that was about 800 AD is at this end, and the latest pottery that was at about 1400 AD is at the other end. I would welcome you to come up and look at these things. They represent the history of the native people of this region. I'm sure that you will be impressed by the artistic skills of these ancient people, who are, after all, the direct ancestors of the native people that are in this room.
This one is about the dog, and this is about the creation of the dog. The first dog, so one day the creator he's taking the dog, he's molding it, told the dog, I'm going to make you different from the other animals. And the dog looked at him, he says, well, what do you mean? He molded him, put his legs on his nose on it, and the dog just noticed there was a cat walked by, and the cat had a nice long tail. And the dog says, you going to give me a tail like that? Yeah. He says, only you're going to be different. You know, how am I going to be different? He says, well, he says, the animals, someday they're going to be used for something else, he says. And he said, well, what's that? He says, well, he says, I'm going to run out of making animals, so I'm going to have to make something else. And he says, what's that? He says, well, it's going to be called a man. And he says, and they're going to be higher than you. You're going to have to respect that man, because he's going to take care of you. And he said, well, what do I need taken care of? Well, he says, you need to be fed, you need a place to live. What do you mean? He says, I can do all of that. Well, he says, not this. He says, well, he says, what's that? He says, I'm going to make you without, so your tail, so you can take your tail off, because when you become a pet to that man, and they're going to learn to respect, they're going to have to take their hat off to respect people's house. And so you're going to be different from the other animals. So when you're going to be living in the house, so you're going to have to take your tail off and put it on a hook, a hanger. Yeah, I guess so. He said, that's what you're going to be. So you're going to have to respect those people. So he made the dog, had the tail, and later on he made the female, she was the same way, and they became friends. They had a family. Pretty soon, families all over, dogs all over, and they had the tails, take their tails off. So one time down in a village, something happened, it wasn't going right, and so they called a meeting down into the lodge, big long lodge, and when they went in the door, sure enough, there was all these pegs, and there wasn't any back door. So pretty soon the lodge was full of dogs, just a whole bunch of dogs, and all these tails on the wall. Meeting was going pretty good, and it was getting pretty heated. And then somebody looked in the back, and there was a fire going back there. One dog jumped up and he says, "Fire, fire, fire!" And all those dogs just began running all over, running around, you know. And finally, one saw the door in the back. Back was open, and they all headed out the door, and as each one went out the door, they grabbed the tail, stuck it on there, went back, and pretty soon they were all out, no tails, and that's why today you see when the dog sees another dog, they're smelling each other. They're still looking for their tail from a long time ago.